What's up, guys? How's it going, guys? What's up?
What's up, dude? How you been?
Long time no see.
Yeah, it's
How you been,
a minute,
Nate?
bro.
How you been, Chris?
Awesome.
Guess we'll start with Nate. What have you been up to, man?
Sure, yeah. Outside of work, I've been, pursuing as much as I can. I just did my first short film recently.
Oh, nice.
Still doing some plays, so still at that.
You just recently had a play, didn't you? Or-
I did, yeah. Shawnee State just did Cabaret, which was a super exciting venture.
Nice. That's cool. What about you, Chris?
I'm working on a script of my own. Yeah, I'm just trying to nail the ending. It's the last part I'm on. It's the hardest part.
It always is, yeah.
You get in thinking you have one thing in mind, and then it's like, nah, that actually just doesn't work at all.
Yeah. You gotta make sure all your loose ends are tied
Yeah,
up.
so I'm dedicating most of my time strictly to that.
For sure.
Going from poetry to it's actually a pretty easy transition going from poetry to screenwriting. 'Cause,
Right.
Poetry you're limited a little bit. But screenwriting you can say exactly what you need.
I was actually going to bring that up. So you recently self-published a little, what would you call it? Of your poems?
It's a chapbook.
Yeah, chapbook. That's right. Yeah. See, I'm uncultured, clearly.
Yeah, I got
Justify.
that published. Yeah,
That's
my
pretty
first ever
sick.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
thank you very much.
Speaking of reading in general and our own words and scripts and that sort of thing, you both have read the script at this point, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Correct.
So what do you have any thoughts? Anything you wanted to bring to the table for discussion? No. What did you think of it, honestly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
genuinely, I really liked it.
Okay.
The premise of wish granting,
Mhm.
so wish, like the title.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty.
Pretty on the nose.
Yeah, right. What it says on the tin.
Yeah. Right.
It's pretty well trod territory of, in folklore even, like before movies existed, we've been talking about getting wishes granted, right?
Yeah.
But I really think that Wish has such a great spin as far as Appalachia, for one.
Yeah.
I'm really passionate about. It's a story of this place, I
Mhm.
think, which is great. And I think there's a great chemistry between the characters, even, that it really elevates it. So I love it.
Really, a lot of the underlying thing about it is it's also a story about obsession
Yeah.
and about getting something stuck in your head and then
Yes.
having to see it through. So it's I think the subtext of it all. I think it's very relatable
Yeah.
to a lot of people.
A little deeper then. How do you feel about your character? You are Lance
Yes.
in our film.
Mhm.
So what do you feel? How do you feel like you connect with Lance? What are some points, I guess, when you were reading it? Could you see yourself in it, or do you feel like this is going to be something that you're going to have to stretch and kind of find it when we get there?
So even before I read the script, when the casting call was posted,
Mhm.
every character was listed with like 3 adjectives
Yeah.
to describe them.
Mhm.
And I don't recall exactly what Lance's were, but they were something like, intelligent
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. And
So naturally, you had to go for the intelligent character.
yeah, very self-centered. So no,
Might be a challenging role for you.
yeah, resilient. So Lance is like the chunk. If we're talking the Goonies here, Lance is the chunk
Fair.
of Wish a little bit,
That's fair.
And
You won't have to truffle shuffle, I promise.
Exactly.
Unless you want.
Oh, yeah.
So-
We can write
Right.
it in.
I walk into this room and I audition, and dude has kind of a, nerdy virgin vibe, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm talking to Steven afterwards, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I was hoping you'd come to this. I kind of had you in mind for this role." I'm like, what is this about, man? He's like, this nerdy virgin, right?
I mean, you play Nerdy Virgin so well. You're so used to it.
It is a gift, I must say. But no, yeah.
20 plus years in that role.
Okay. No, but in all seriousness, there's more to it than that.
Yeah,
of course,
for
it's
sure.
deeper than that.
For sure.
I don't think I have to stretch a great deal for the role. It's you guys, and we're buddies already. We've been friends. It's a role that I feel comfortable in, and it's a well written role, so that's super important. So
I didn't choose you all because we grew up together. It's just, out of all the auditions that we had, there were tons of fantastic auditions. But it just felt like you all embodied, Lance for you, like you said, and I'm glad to hear that you don't feel like it will be a huge stretch because, yes, I had you in mind while I was writing it a little bit, but also, the fact that you see it means more to me than me seeing it. And then what about Terry? How do you feel about that character? Do you feel like that will be a challenging role to take on for you, or do you feel like that's kind of
I think, once I, how you were saying there were like descriptors, base descriptors of kind of who these people were. This wasn't me as a descriptor, but, sad boy. I was like, okay,
for sure.
sad boy, I could easily pull it off, I got that vibe. I know.
What's the hat say?
Crybaby.
There we go.
It says all it needs to say right there. But I see a lot of through all like the grief and anguish of the character. There's some humor.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you say that, because with Terry, yes, he is big sad boy energy, and that it's funny 'cause you do fit the part. I'm not gonna lie.
Goes without saying.
But at the same time, Terry really, I think of the trio, Terry is probably, if I had to pick a favorite, probably my favorite.
Mine too.
Well, I hope so.
Another thing with them is that I feel like each of them has a piece of you. I feel like knowing you pretty well, there's some of you in all three of them, and that's even more great that they're distinct and have their own individual personalities. Because I think, in some universe, all three of them are Steven to a degree.
That's
you know?
fair.
So-
Yeah, that's really funny that you say that. I mean,
So you all were talking about the obsession.
Mhm.
So what is that in this story? How does that come into play? We've seen a little about this story.
I'm trying to think of what can be revealed.
Sure.
So
We've seen the teaser. We have
right,
the
yeah. So
trailer.
everybody's seen the proof of concept, which
Yeah.
kind of goes into the lore of the troll, and gives you a little bit more backstory. So you see John as a young boy with his grandpa, right? In the beginning, John's not super comfortable around his grandpa. You can tell that the relationship is one where he gets to visit occasionally, and he's not bringing his video games, not allowed to, but they don't have a super close relationship. It's revealed later, in the full film, that they actually were pretty close by the time that John's grandfather passed. And he passed not too long before our film picks up. And so with John, his obsession comes from wanting to feel that closeness once again to his grandfather. Because at the end of the day, the troll, this magical wish-granting troll, he doesn't believe it as hard as he might argue that he does. It's more that he wants to
See it through.
yeah, and go on this journey with his friends to a place that he hasn't been to, that he's only ever heard about in these folk tales,
It kind of almost feels like this is it moment
Yeah.
between them all three. It's like the last time that they know they're really going to be
for sure.
together.
It's
and
the
just-
journey, not the
yeah,
destination that
absolutely.
matters. It's the adventure for them.
Do you feel like obsession plays a large role with Terry, or where do you feel like that
Yeah,
falls through?
his obsession comes from trying to reobtain what has been lost. He's, and we all have something that we've lost. That it's like,
Yeah.
you really irritate yourself over things you wish you could have back.
For sure.
And,
Choices you made.
Lance and John are both striving for things that they've never had. Like, Lance
Yeah,
hasn't had a
yeah.
girlfriend, John hasn't had financial security in his lifetime.
yeah.
Terry wants something that he's known the greatness of and has lost. So I think it's, even
Yeah.
more so for him.
Like, if you have, especially that connection or something like that, then it's stripped
I
away
have a
from you.
car. Someone out there and took my car.
Absolutely.
I'd hate that they took my car.
Absolutely. What are you gonna do? You gonna walk home? You got about an hour drive. Let alone a walk.
I'll drop you off on the way.
Oh yeah. I'm just about 5 minutes away. So.
Yep.
No, but I do appreciate you guys coming out and
Sure.
sitting here and talking with
Yeah.
me about it. It's Wish is something that I've been passionate about clearly for a while. Again, we cast you all in 21. It's 23. We're gonna be shooting very soon.
Wish we could film.
Oh, I wish so too. Do you have a wish? No. Okay. All right. You wish this was over. You wish
I
you
wish we
could
had
go
some
home.
food in front of us.
I wish we had some food too. I'm actually rather famished. Is there anything else that you all have before we head out? Anything that you wanted to say?
I don't believe so. I'm really proud of you for getting this done.
Proud of you for being a part
Look
of
forward
it.
to the summer. Hopefully.
Yes,
Fingers
absolutely,
crossed.
yeah. Yeah, knock on
I think
wood.
things work out ideally.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm excited to get at it.
Yeah.
I feel like in the three of us, I feel also, we were talking about chemistry with the characters, but I feel like the three of us do have it naturally with the way we
Yeah.
are. So once we get into it, I feel like it'll really take off on its own.
Absolutely.
And who knows, what I wrote may not even be as relevant as whatever.
We'll punch it up some.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. I'm gonna need it. No, but thank you guys, seriously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you. And thank you.
Our lovely.
And if this does come out,
They thanked me.
hey, thank you. No, I was thanking them, but thank you. All right, I don't know what to do. Is it over?
I think so.